About 10 years ago, Scott Ramsay was sitting in his suit and tie on the 17th floor of an office building in Johannesburg. He looked out the window across the city. For several years, he had felt claustrophobic, depressed, and frustrated. Concrete buildings, meetings, shopping malls, air conditioning, and traffic jams have that effect on him. He daydreamed constantly at his desk. He longed to explore our continent and country. He wanted to be out there on the ground, photographing the incredible beauty of South Africa's wild places. So he left the city. We think Scott Ramsay is one of the luckiest people we know. Why? Because in the last few years, Scott has spent his working days visiting almost all of South Africa's national parks and game reserves, something the rest of us just dream about doing. Setting off originally for a year in the wild, Scott's adventure lasted 3 years, with him photographing and writing about the magical places he visited as he went. We caught up with him during the final leg of his odyssey in the northern parts of the Kruger. The north of the Kruger is wilder than the south, and fewer tourists make it up here. Perfect for Scott, whose mission is to bring national parks alive for others through his blog and articles. Walking with Shingwedzi's head guide, Bishop Shilowa, was a good way to explore and capture the region in images.
There's a hippo over there.
Yeah.
Is it right? Yeah.
So what happens with hippos is the hippo will sink to the bottom,
Yeah.
then it sleeps. It goes in deep sleep, 5 minutes at the bottom, then goes up, the nose breaks the surface, and take oxygen. It goes down again in deep sleep.
Wow.
That is automatically. It does not say, now I want to go up and take oxygen. Oh, elephants there.
Bishop, there's still some water in the dry season here in the Shingwedzi, which is nice.
Yeah, before the flood, there was water all over here from there.
Bishop is talking about the floods that almost obliterated Shingwedzi camp in January 2013. Heavy rains in the catchment caused the Shingwedzi River to rise with fury, and unable to contain itself, the river burst its banks. The dam wall near Sireni Bush Camp also collapsed due to the huge volumes of water. Remarkably, no lives were lost, but the staff and the camp have not forgotten the ordeal. These were the worst floods in Shingwedzi's history.
It's something that I never thought it was going to happen in my life, so I was very scared. I was just praying for a miracle. I didn't think I was going to make it till the morning because the water was rising up very fast. Only a few hours then we felt helpless.
It's hard to believe that where Scott is driving now was underwater nearly 2 years ago. But brutal as Mother Nature can be, she quickly returns to normal and her creatures resume their routines. Large herds of buffalo have always been and are still an enchanting feature of this area. But Scott is interested in capturing both the large and the small aspects of an area, and the middle of the day is a good time to explore a camp for photo opportunities. Tree squirrels, our only indigenous squirrels in South Africa, are just as delightful to see as the bigger animals and make for very entertaining subjects. There are many different ways to get to know an area, but talking to and spending time with the people on the ground is one of the best. Because field guides spend every day out in the bush, they seem to develop amazing abilities to find even the smallest things, as Paul Mgiba from Sireni Bush Camp proves.
If you look on the main branch on this tree I'm pointing at, he's sitting pointing east behind us.
With the white stripe.
With the white stripe.
And that's a flapneck chameleon.
That's a flapneck chameleon, yeah.
Moving slowly and taking time to just sit and watch is always rewarded with special sightings.
I've just seen a couple of saddle-billed storks, which are quite rare in southern Africa.
They breed very slowly. They actually lay 2 eggs and one survive. As you see, these 2, they got 1 chick there. And then it obviously takes time for them to reach maturity.
the saddle-billed stalker's just caught a fish in this pool. And he's just swallowed it now.
Scott's final stop on his epic journey is Punta Maria, the rest camp farthest north in the park and also the oldest. From here, he can visit the Pafuri region with all the unexpected wonders it has to offer.
Very about 2 meters long. It's very beautiful, very sensitive to vibrations, and we don't want to scare it away.
Now known as Makuleke, this region presents Scott with spectacular landscapes to photograph. Massive fever tree forests offer the most fascinating environments to explore. There are thousands of these trees that are as intriguing as the area's past.
We were removed here in 1969 and we got the land back in 1999. So the place is co-managed by Makuleke people together with the Kruger National Parks.
And tell me, when the people got the land back, why did they decide to keep conserving it as opposed to turning it into a farm or mining it?
The idea was that they want to preserve it as it is because they saw that it has got a potential of being a good conservation place. So they want to retain the status of the nature as it is. So that's why they didn't opt for another option. They go for that one only.
And it's no wonder the custodians of the area want to see this place protected. With unique and spectacular vistas like those from above Lana Gorge, a dramatic scene thanks to the way the Luvuvu River cuts through the endless savanna and Mopani woodland. And also with the rich history. Thulamela are the ruins of an ancient civilization.
How old is Thulamela?
Okay, Thulamela is from AD 1550 to 1650.
What actually happened at Thulamela? Why were the people here?
So these people, they were trading with China, and then they were trading leopard skin. And then these people, they were meet at the Beria,
on the
Mozambique coast.
Okay.
And then they were exchanging things like ivory, and then they get the beads and even the ceramic.
From China?
From China.
Wow.
After 3 years of exploring, writing, taking photos, this part of Scott's journey comes to an end. But more adventures await, and Scott plans to continue inspiring others through his journalism and spectacular images to visit South Africa's beautiful places. So when you are sitting at your desk, dreaming about escaping the rat race, remember that Scott did. You can share his stories on his Year in the Wild blog or simply go yourself.